It's X's and O's on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Radio Network. Paul Allen with the Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer, about to chat about the Sunday night game against the Dallas Cowboys. And those of you listening on the Vikings Radio Network and KFAN, we welcome you. Those eventually watching this or part of this at Vikings.com, you will see the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings for the first time in quite some time is doing X's and O's without a hat. So it's from a radio standpoint, it's not that big of a talker. Those watching, they can just see how great you look without a hat. You must be feeling really good about yourself on this day, aren't you?
Yeah, actually, I couldn't find my hat, and I didn't really want to comb my hair either. So well, you get what you get.
There's a Vikings helmet in front of us. I mean,
it's actually my son-in-law's helmet.
Is it?
It's what he wanted for his birthday.
Very nice.
Yeah.
The Sunday night game, Coach, will be your first regular season game coaching in Dallas. You were in Dallas for 13 years. Is it special in any way, or it's game 10? You're 6-3. Are you too wrapped up in trying to beat the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, Paul, I've been away from Dallas for a long time now. It's been, I don't know, 15 years or something maybe. So really, none of that matters to me. I know a lot of people there still, but I'm a Viking now, and we intend to try to go out there and play our best football. Back
to 94, and I believe at that stage you were 38 years of age. Do you remember what went into that, getting the job at Dallas from Washington State? Like, what led you to that job, your first job in the NFL?
Well, I had a friend that I used to work with named Dave Campo, who was a secondary coach there, and they actually called me 2 years prior to that, and then they hired someone else. And then when Coach Switzer got the job, they called me, and I said, well, you've called me for 2 years. And they said, well, you don't have to do anything. Just you've got the job if you want it.
Well, was it eye-opening in any way, leaving Washington State and going there? Like really going from college football coaching to the NFL?
Well, I think it was eye-opening. They had just won the 2 Super Bowls. We had a whole bunch of Hall of Famers, Troy Aikman and Deion Sanders and Emmitt Smith and Charles Haley, and you can go on and on. But it was much different than Washington State. Let's say that.
What was it like working for head coach Barry Switzer?
Oh, he was great. He he let you do your job. He was very enthusiastic. I think he got along very well with the players.
And during your time in Dallas, you lasted there through several head coaching changes. So was there ever a time, when they're going from coach to coach, that you were concerned, either back to college or I got to find a new job?
Yeah, there's a few times. I think I had 4 different head coaches. We had Chan Gailey came in, and he really kept all of us. And then Dave Campo got the job, and I was good friends with him. And then when Coach Parcells came in, I didn't know him, and so that was probably the only time that I really was concerned about it, I guess.
And you and Bill subsequently have become lifetime friends.
Yeah, and he's taught me an awful lot about football, about the game of football. We talk about a lot of different things, not just football. And so, I've learned a ton from him.
Does Bill follow the 2019 Vikings very closely? And if so, how does he offer his opinion?
Well, like last week, he texted me and said, Thielen, ? And I said he should be good to go. And he said, good, we need him.
Yeah. I was like, Bill, what are you playing, fantasy football?
he said, we need him.
Yeah.
It wasn't like,
That's awesome.
You guys need him.
Do you hide the women and children for this one? Do you happen to remember when you were defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, how the 3 games went you had against the Minnesota Vikings?
I remember Randy Moss on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That was a rough day.
3 catches, 160 and change, 3 TDs.
Well, we kept him to 3 catches. They were just long ones.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the other 2.
Well, you were DB's coach that Thanksgiving day.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, defensive coordinator. It was 0-3.
Yeah.
So you probably have blocked those out of your mind, right?
Yeah, it's been a lot of years ago.
Those undoubtedly were some very good Vikings teams. With last one on Dallas and days gone by, when Dallas played at US Bank Stadium in 2016, very difficult day for you. You did not coach the team. Mike Prever did that evening. When you stopped by, I remember, and surprised the team day of the game. It was, from what I understand, quite the emotional experience. Yeah, how difficult was that day? If you could just remember back for a second.
It was really difficult. These guys put in so much work and effort, and for me to miss a game, that's I'm not like a player. I can't miss games. So, but the doctors said I needed to miss. Rick and I talked about it. I guess it was the night before, and they didn't really want me to go down and talk to the team either. And I just said I'm going to do it. So,
Zim being Zim.
Yeah, and I probably should have coached it anyway.
Back to Kansas City for a second. You've talked about it a couple of times, but just to frame it up a different way, that 91-yard run against you guys at Kansas City, I mean, stuff like that just never happens to your defense. Did it easy fixes with what happened?
Yeah, it's probably, honestly, a bad design by me. We changed something last year, last spring. We looked at a couple different things for that particular play, and so we tried to do it. And we just end up getting a guy out of place, yeah. And then when he gets on the safety in the middle of the field with space, back like that has an opportunity to make you miss, and he did. Typically, our safeties are pretty good tacklers, and we missed with the middle of the field safety there. But I could have done a better job of trying to scheme that a little bit better than what I did.
What has led to the rapid improvement of Ifeadi Odenigbo? I mean, he's relentless.
He came on really strong at the end of last year on the practice squad, and then in the off season he's lifted and worked out and worked on everything, all the techniques that we're trying to do. He's a very relentless guy. Sometimes he's getting blocked, but he just won't stop. And in some ways, he's like Everson in the things that he's doing, his physicality and his relentlessness. I think he's learned a lot from Everson.
You like him inside more than outside, or is he too young in his career to really determine that? Yeah,
I think he's too young. He gives us something inside, but he made a couple of nice plays at end the other day. So, the more that we can get him on the field and the more that he can just use his violence, and really that's what it is with him, is, he's just powerful, strong, violent guy that I think he'll continue to make plays for us.
When Thielen left the KC game, generally speaking, what kind of coverage did Diggs get the majority of the game?
Well, he got some double coverage, and he got some coverage rolled to him. But we got to do a better job of getting open. They played some man coverage on other guys as well, and we didn't get open enough. So we've got to do that better than what we did. We were able to hit some other things because of the things they were doing, and we missed a couple things of some of the things they were doing. So, we have to be prepared for all those situations, and I think we had a good plan. We just didn't execute it very well.
Has it been a common thread for you this season, getting the corners to play the way you want them to play, like on a weekly basis?
Yeah, we've kind of prided ourselves around here on being really, really tough man-to-man cover corners, and there's been some times throughout that we've allowed guys to make some easy catches. I always talk to the team about part of playing pass defense here is making sure that the catches are contested catches, not uncontested catches, and we've had a few too many of those. The long bomb that Hill hit, the second one there toward the end of the game, that was a contested catch. We got to go make that play. The double move he got early. We had bad eyes on, and then the catch that Watkins caught, the one-handed catch. Yeah. He actually had two of them in the game, but one of them, Xavier had great coverage on the guy, and he made a great catch. And sometimes, and those things are going to happen with these great athletes. But we just have to win our share of those catches that are being denied.
From the off season through the preseason through where you are now with that bye, after the Denver Broncos game. physically and or mentally for a lot of people? Do you feel that the bye's going to hit at a good time? I mean, it's been an arduous grind up to this point.
Yeah, I think it's been a long grind. I think it'll be a good spot. You know, quite honestly, we've been pretty healthy for the most part. You know, the Thursday night game came at a good time. They had a couple days off. You know, we played really, really hard in Kansas City. We just didn't win the football game. Yeah. And if we'll do that, if we'll continue to play really hard like that, execute a little bit better, we're going to win a lot of games. I do think, though, it has been a grind, and but you know, we've changed the routine a little bit, trying to not get them in a rut. This week we're going to change a little bit on Thursdays to get them into the recovery room a little bit earlier than and maybe have the meetings a little bit longer on Friday morning as opposed to Thursday. So hopefully that'll work out.
How do they use Ezekiel Elliott?
Well, mostly running the ball, but they will use him on some routes, wheel out of the backfield and some screens. He's a very hard running back, very downhill, falls forward all the time. He's got great feet and an acceleration, but you know, he's a very physical runner with exceptional feet.
And how well is Dak Prescott playing right now?
You know, he's playing really well. You know, he's making great throws. He's making good reads. He's getting the ball out early when he needs to, you know, under pressure, making you know, and I think his receivers do a great job of running to the proper depth and getting to where they need to be.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
This is X's and O's with Mike Zimmer on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Radio Network.